We're going to do some manual weeding. The first type of weeding that we would do is hoeing. I have 3 different hoes here and I'll show you how they work. This first one here works on a push action. It's a push hoe. And you can see there are a few weed seedlings coming up in the vegetable patch here. So what you do with the hoe is you hoe just in under the soil surface to separate the weed from its roots. Just leave it there. Just go slightly in under. Best conditions for hoeing are dry, slightly breezy days, warm like this, because that means you can just leave the weeds on the surface and don't have to worry about picking them up. They will just shrivel away. So that's the push hoe. If you prefer, you could use a pull hoe, this one here, and it's exactly the same principle, only with this one you're actually pulling towards yourself. And it doesn't actually make a difference which hoe you use. Personal preference, whichever one you are more comfortable with. This actually has a relatively, compared to this one, a shorter handle that might suit some people better. That's that one. And the third one I have is this one here, which is an oscillating hoe which moves both ways, and it just happens to be my favorite. I would use this before I'd use any of the other ones. You just go back and forth, again just under the soil surface. It's a great way as well to aerate the soil a little bit. I just find that very comfortable, that kind of work. To keep your back straight when you're doing it, so you're not straining your back too much. And with hoeing, little and often is usually the best approach. If you do that all through the season, you will have very little weeding to do. Okay, next one. The other type of mechanical weeding is hand weeding. Now you could do this standing up with a shovel or a spade. More often it's handier just to get on your hands and knees and do some weeding. Hand weeding is really for weeding mostly perennial weeds or well-established weeds that are likely to regrow if you don't take the root out as well. So for example, these daisies here, pretty as they are, but they're taking up space of other plants. You need to be sure to get as many of the roots as possible. They have what's called fibrous roots, so lots of small roots together. Or this dandelion here, you have to go deep for that one because it has a tap root. It's the other type of root plants have. I think I got most of it. You can see it's a long tap root that goes down and a few side roots. If you break any part of that off, it stays in the ground. Or if you were to hoe that, just hoe the top of it, the root would just regrow when you plant. And it's a waste of time really, hoeing those kind of weeds. So for weeds like that, perennial weeds, or in other words weeds that have a continuous life cycle, they can live for several years, you really need to get a trowel or a shovel to weed them out. It's another dandelion I picked out earlier. You can see here I broke a bit of the root off, so there's a good chance that will grow again. There's some more daisies. There. Another perennial weed, nettle. There's a very long root that grows underground, and every now and again a new nettle can pop up. And buttercups, They have fibrous roots, lots of small roots, but they're hard enough to take out of the ground, so you definitely need a trowel or a spade to get them out. And there's lots of different types of grasses which could have bulbs. Some of them have bulbs, some have fibrous roots. Some, like scotch grass, have a long horizontal rhizomatous root that will grow and grow again. Another dandelion there. And then there are a few I found which are not perennial, but if they're well established, you're nearly better off to get them out with a trowel as well. This one is cleavers or goosegrass or robin run the hedge, has lots of names. The weed itself is very sticky, and you probably know the seeds. They're small little round seeds that stick to your trousers or animals. That's how they spread. Another annual weed is hairy bittercress. It can grow quite big. Some of them are much smaller. It's all the same. Small little white flowers, and you might see beside the little flowers are the seed pods, the long sticky bits, and each seed pod has a lot of little seeds in there. And if you leave these too late before you weed them and the seeds are ready to disperse, one little touch and the seed pod bursts open and the seeds spread everywhere.